what's up? Just enjoying that nature, man. Good old Thailand nature. Man. Check this out. Got the view. This sun's finally coming out. Got the little pool. Pretty cool. Man, it's been finally starting to clear up. It's been raining the past few days. It's supposed to be rainy season here in Thailand. And not really rainy season. I don't think it's rainy season yet. I think that's next month. But yeah, it's good because it's also not peak season. And I hear it's like freaking crazy, like just with people, you know. I don't want to be around too many people. But yeah, y'all here? I cannot believe it myself. I was kind of skeptical it would happen, but that Ethereum ETF, that shit got approved, man. All of a sudden, the stars aligned, and they brought it into fruition. I don't know the details yet. I haven't read it. I literally just woke up. I just woke up and I'm just chilling out here. I just saw like people just excited, right? And you got people saying, "Oh, sell the news, sell the news, sell it, buy it, buy the rumor, sell the news." You know, like I look at the price action. I'm like, you can literally just see the emotions. You know, first it dumped, it was approved, then price dumps, then price rips back up, then price settles back exactly where it was before the whole news was announced. And now people that were, you know, that just sold, or people that shorted, or people that bought, they're like confused, like, wait, what's happening? Why isn't it pumping? Or why isn't it dumping? Oh, sell the news, right? And that's what I want to talk about, is just the psychology of just the average investor, right? The average person that invests into the market. Everyone's so focused on that very short time frame, but they don't see like the bigger picture, right? I'm talking about when you're investing into the markets, right? Not trading or trading for income, right? You know, that's different. That's very different. But like just investing long term into assets, right? And you know, it's like some of you know, I help educate in the DeFi space, and you know, just the mentality of people. Like when things are going good, you know, everybody's on the train, everyone's happy, everyone's rolling along, you know, making money, right? But as soon as you get any drawdown, any negative events, right, or just a simple dip in the market, people will freak out, right? And it's funny because it's like, you know, people expect all the good times, but they don't want any of the bad, so they try to get out before everybody else so they don't experience the bad. And then not only that, they have to time it to get back in to continue those good times, right? And whether they may get lucky selling the top, but usually they're not great at timing the re-entry to get back in, especially if it's on an investment that people had a thesis on that hasn't changed and is still valid, an investment thesis that tells them, okay, I want to invest in this asset, right? but their monkey brain, just like, oh no, I gotta get out before everyone, even though this thing is still, fitting my thesis. But you know what? I'm gonna try to time it so I can get an extra 10%, or I can avoid that 10% drawdown, or 20%, or 30% drawdown, right? And 30% is a lot in regular, traditional finance, but like in crypto, that's nothing. Freaking nature, man. You hear that? I'm hurt. Hopefully you can hear those birds, man. I'm going crazy. But yeah, just the way people think when they invest in markets. And then you can see the emotion in charts, right? You can just see how people react and how people fight over each other, and it just reminds me of, like, I always see it as like a Black Friday event for some reason, like, especially in crypto, people waiting on an event, like say a token is about to be released or airdropped. Airdrops is a great example. You got airdrops where everyone knows the date, everyone's been preparing for it. The people that got whitelisted to get the airdrop are ready for it, right? And everyone's in like Discord communities asking, hey, where are you gonna sell this? Where do you plan on selling this? They try to ask the bigger players, or not bigger players, but more like the more prominent members that have been around long enough, and like, hey, where do you plan on selling? Where are you gonna sell? And everyone has this discussion, and it's all a game, right? Like, people ask that question because they just want to front run you, right? They're like, oh, you're gonna sell there, okay, I'm gonna probably sell it, like, I'll sell it a penny less than you, right? Or it's like those little games, right? And then when the token gets released, everyone, like, you see the activity on the blockchain, so many people panicking to like sell it, right? And you see like the block, like, say if it's like a new like blockchain token, it starts like it starts fouling up, stops working. The developers have to say, whoa, wait, it's just congestion, everyone's like trying to do what they're doing, selling or whatever, right? All the activity. I'm just like, but it's just like an example of how just people think when it comes to investing. It's just like people go crazy. It's like a Black Friday sale, right? Or like, say during COVID, when everybody was, what was it, Costco, buying up all the toilet paper. Like, it was absolutely nuts. People fighting over toilet paper and just packing their carts with toilet paper. I'm like, what is going through their heads? Were you willing to fight your fellow neighbor over some toilet paper, right? And not only toilet paper, but just other shit, right? Like, we all saw it, and it's just like, it's just crazy, man. Like, it's seeing how, understanding how people think, the psychology of the average investor is something that you can understand, or not understand, like, why they do things, right? That I still don't even understand why people act the way they do when they invest to this day, but you can understand what to do when certain events happen, right? And once you understand that, and understand what you should do when everybody's doing something, then I think you'll just be a much better investor, right? Say like, you've had like GameStop, that stock running recently, and I'd say like just 2 weeks ago, the average person was not even thinking about that stock. Then the shit runs from like $20 to $80 a share. And then you got everybody wanting to buy and talking about it's to the moon, right? Because they're now in, you know, they're vested in there, so they're trying to sell it to the next person, right? And that is where the average investor that's not in it and sees that, they're like, holy shit, you're in, look how high it is, it's already up. I don't want to miss it going further. Like, this shit already ran like a 4x, 4 times its price. It's like median price over the past, like, what is it, couple years. And then it just 4x's. And then now people are like, oh yeah, I need it right now. Like, it's just funny how people think. And what's funny is, like, even though it's, you know, I compare it to Black Friday. Even though I compare it to Black Friday, it's like the opposite. You know, prices are high, but people want to buy it then. Like in Black Friday, people are looking for the deals, right? And when it comes to investing, people don't think that way. It's funny, like they want the cheapest deal they want on the item they want. They're not going to pay a penny more, right? But when it comes to buying assets, investing, it's the opposite. People are like, buy the highest price they can, right? Because they just don't want to miss out, right? It's that same FOMO, same, you know, mentality. And, you know, it just never works out for people. So it's important to just understand that mindset and avoid it and know what to do when you see those events happen. But yeah, it's just like, you know, you have your own plan and invest. That's it, man. Or girl, or woman, man or woman. I keep saying man. But yeah, you just gotta have your own plan, and that's very important. So I just want to leave that message out there, you know. And congrats to the ETF or to the Ethereum holders. It's a good day. It's something I didn't expect. It's crazy. Like, I thought it was gonna get rejected. I was like, there's no way it's gonna get approved. I mean, I still own some, but you know, it's not for an ETF. You know, what's that gonna do? I mean, it's significant, yes, and it allows the SEC to regulate it now and to give investors, more sophisticated investors with actual real large amounts of capital, to now invest in it, because, you know, it'll be backed by the SEC, right? It'll be backed by the government. You know, it's protected, insured, right? That's what they're waiting for, you know? So now that's, you know, that's cleared up, and they've donned it, you know, gave it the green lights. You know, now you're gonna see it in like 401ks. You're gonna see it in your brokerage account, in your Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade. I don't even know if Scottrade is still around. No, it's not. If you think you still have a Scottrade, you might want to check your brokerage account. But yeah, it's gonna be in there. You know, and you're gonna be able to buy it. You know, buy the ETF, right? And you know, people are like, should I buy the ETF or should I just buy the crypto, right? Like, should I just buy actual Bitcoin or Ethereum, or should I just go and buy the ETF? And I have to say, like, it doesn't matter. Whatever's better for you, right? Like, with the drawbacks to owning the actual crypto, like Ethereum or Bitcoin, is that you have to protect the seed phrase, right? The password. If you lose that and you cannot open your wallet and you can't recover it without that seed phrase, then it's gone. Your money's gone. There's no way to recover it, you know. So it's very important, and that's the risk, right? Like, because you don't want your net worth sitting on a seed phrase, right? So it's very important to recover that, or to keep that in a safe place. Don't share it. Don't put it online. You know, you definitely don't want to put it online. You don't want to put it like as a picture on your phone or something. Like someone hacks your phone, they got your seed phrase, and that's it. It's gone. Because they could steal it, because they could recover it on their computer just with your phrase, and then recover it, right? And steal it, send it to another wallet. So it's very important to protect that, right? And it's a very archaic way for something that's supposed to be the future, right? The future of finance. So it's like, I'm just waiting. Like it's coming. There's a day coming where you don't have to worry about the seed phrase anymore. It's gonna be protected. You don't have to maintain like security of it. There's gonna be third parties that are gonna do that for us, and then eventually you'll be able to recover your seed phrase with a Face ID or something, right? But until that time comes, now you have the option. If you don't want to deal with the hassle, or if you have a significant amount you want to invest, I would say the ETF. It's just easier, right? Use the ETF, and that's where you're protected. Yes, you don't own the actual crypto, but the ETF represents a 1-to-1 representation of that, right? Every Bitcoin that's owned by, say, like the Bitcoin ETF, they have to own an equal amount to provide that liquidity, right? For if people need to sell out, or people just need to sell out or just redeem, right? Redeem for their cash. So that's the importance of it. So investors know, like, okay, this is the closest. It's very close to actually owning the asset without having to worry about protecting the seed phrase, without worrying about losing it, right? And people now could be like, okay, now I want to invest a lot more. I'm ready, right? So I think that's just like the more sophisticated and people that understand crypto have been waiting for, right? Nobody cares about these little fucking price fluctuations, right? And you got the average investor just thinking, oh, they're messing with the market, but it's actually it's probably actually the average investor is like a player versus player, and they're just like fucking buying and selling into each other, thinking the institutions are like playing games. But I mean, that's not to say that they don't. There are times when they see opportunities, maybe they'll just nudge the price a little bit with some capital behind it, blow out some stops, and then that way they can take the other side of that trade, right? But that's another conversation, right? I'm just saying, if you have an actual thesis